The landlord's voice was like a jagged piece of glass, sharp and dismissive. I didn't say a word. I just tapped the screen to end the call. The silence in the holding cell thickened, heavy with the stench of William's satisfaction. Hear that, Lucas? William leaned in, his breath smelling of stale coffee and cheap cigarettes. Even the civilian world has cast its vote. You're a pariah, a ghost without a house. I tilted my head, facing the blurred direction of his voice. William, tell me something. That military-grade camera you found, the one with the tons of photos on it, did you check the metadata on the files? William hesitated. I could hear the slight shift of his weight, the creak of his leather holster. We don't need metadata when the location is your windowsill. You should, I said softly, because if you did, you'd realize those photos were taken 3 days ago, between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. That's a problem for your narrative. Why's that? Because 3 days ago, I was at the Metropolitan Hospital. My landlord, the one who just called, was there with me. I was getting my monthly ocular cavity cleaning. You can check the records. I was under anesthesia for 3 hours. I paused, letting the implications sink into the cold air. How does a blind man under general anesthesia take high-definition photos of a girl across the street? The room went dead silent. William's breathing hitched. I could hear his heart rate pick up, a frantic, uneven rhythm. He was starting to realize that the perfect evidence was a little too perfect. You're lying, he spat, but the conviction was gone. I heard him fumble for his radio. Get me the tech lab, now. He stormed out, the heavy iron door clanging shut. I was alone again in the dark. But the darkness was my boardroom, my fortress. People think being blind means you lose your connection to the world. It's the opposite. Every creak of a floorboard, every change in air pressure, every scent, they form a map. An hour passed, then 2. The door opened again. This time, there was no arrogant swagger in the footsteps. There were 2 people, William and someone else, a woman. Her scent was expensive, sandalwood and expensive leather, not a cop. Lucas, the woman said. Her voice was cool, professional. I'm Elena Vance. I'm a public defender, though I suspect you don't need one. Captain William here has some news. The metadata matched your alibi, William grumbled. His voice sounded like he'd been swallowing thorns. The camera was planted. We're investigating the chain of custody. And Mia Lee? I asked. She's still sticking to her story, Elena said, her heels clicking on the floor as she moved toward me. But the evidence is now inadmissible. However, the captain is refusing to release you. He says there's still the matter of the posted photos on the foreign sites. They're tracing the IP address. No need, I said, standing up. The handcuffs rattled. The IP will lead to a coffee shop 3 blocks from here, a shop Mia Lee frequents every morning before her 10 a.m. lecture. William barked a laugh. And how would you know that? You been seeing her after all? I don't need eyes to know that she uses the summer rain perfume, or that she has a slight wheeze in her left lung when she walks fast, I said, stepping closer to the bars. I also know that while I was being arrested, Mia Lee wasn't crying because she was scared. She was laughing. It was a low, guttural vibration in her chest, hidden behind her hands. It's the sound people make when they think they've finally buried a threat. A threat? Elena Vance's interest was piqued. What threat could a blind man be to a college student? That's the question, isn't it? I turned my empty sockets toward William. Captain, if you want to find the real photos of Mia Lee, don't look at my camera. Look at hers. Check her deleted folder. You'll find she's been taking those photos of herself, framing the shots to look like they were taken from my angle. But she's an amateur. She forgot about the reflections in the glass. William stayed silent for a long time. Then, I heard the jingle of keys. The cell door opened. You're free to go, Lucas, William said.